I'm at one of those stages in life where it's sort of a transitional period, I guess, in the sense that a lot of things are changing. A lot of things have changed. I'm adapting to those changes, I guess. And I'm driving myself crazy. I'm driving myself crazy thinking about it. We obviously moved to a new country, no jobs. Money, I'm not even worried about, to be honest, which is strange. I'm more worried about finding a job and maybe, I guess, creating that stability for ourselves. But in this current moment, it's not really, it's not at the top of the list of my concerns. It's interesting. Starting a business is it's so exciting and it's so fun, but it feels so daunting at times, right? And it's like you need to have this relentless pursuit after what you're chasing or whatever you're doing, and you cannot take your foot off the gas. And I feel like, at least that's my mindset, and I don't know if that's self-destructive in the sense that it's not sustainable and I'm going to burn out at some point, or maybe that is the way it's supposed to be and it's something only a few can pursue. I'm not at that point yet as far as burnout's concerned, but I've mentioned in previous videos we're working long hours, not making time for other things, which is more challenging in my opinion. I don't mind working. I enjoy what I'm doing, like I said, but I feel like I'm doing it at the sacrifice of other things. Especially, we moved to Rome, right? It's important to enjoy the city and have a little balance in your life, but I feel like, that maybe there's that stigma around being an entrepreneur and starting a business that you really can't have that balance and you need to sacrifice things, which I understand, right? And that makes sense. And that's what we're doing currently. But, part of me is like, we could have done this at home in New Jersey, right? And part of it, though, at the same time is, moving out in order to give us no other option, no other way out, and therefore having to make the business work, right? By taking this leap, I wanted to see where it goes, stuff like that. And, there's a lot that comes with that. Not struggles per se, but the challenges that we're facing. And maybe somebody can resonate with it if they've started their own business, stuff like that. But we're working with AI specifically, and I almost have imposter syndrome. Not only one, working with AI and coding and things of this nature, because I'm not super tech savvy in that sense. I don't know how to code. I don't really know what a lot of this AI stuff does. I mean, I do now. I'm learning a ton, learning a ton. What it does is it almost levels the playing field between, those super technical people and the people who aren't so technical, because AI it does it for you essentially, right? So I can tell these tools, code me an app, like a whole app, and it'll do it, right? And obviously you got to work at the kinks. It's not perfect, but the technology is very new in the grand scheme of things. I think 20 years from now, 30 years, 50 years from now, I mean, this stuff is going to be, there's going to be robots walking around. Like, I'm serious. Like, there's going to be robots walking around, and people, I guess, need to prepare for that reality. I mean, that's the thing too. People don't even realize, I'm fortunate, right? I've realized, I guess, the impact that this technology is going to have. And I'm trying to get ahead of the curve, because if you don't learn and get ahead of it, you're going to be left in the dust and you're going to be easily replaceable. And I'm not trying to give people anxiety. This stuff gives me anxiety thinking about it, right? Because it's like, holy shit, I have to keep up with. And this stuff is moving at light speed. Every single day something new is coming out. There's new iterations, new technology. It's unbelievable. I can't keep up, and it's driving me out of my mind, to be honest with you. So, and the problem is too, now I'm on social media and stuff, and that's all I see on TikTok and Instagram and whatever. So, it's not good being constantly exposed to these people who are not only learning this stuff and starting businesses and making $500,000 a month. It's stupid money, and it's like, I got to be doing something wrong. Like, there's something missing here. There's a piece of the puzzle missing that I haven't found yet. And and granted, look, we've been at this endeavor for maybe 4 to 5 weeks, something like that. So at the rate we're going, if we continue this pace, I mean, in 6 months, who knows where we're going to be. So we just have to be consistent. I have to figure out methods to avoid burnout. Like I said, I haven't gotten there, but I'm staying up late, not sleeping a lot, not doing other things that I enjoy. I'm not going to the gym consistently. I'm not walking around enjoying the city as much as I should be. But it's like, is that sacrifice required to achieve what we want to achieve? So it's difficult, especially, like I said, at the rate in which this technology moves. It's like, holy you can't take your foot off the gas, and it's unbelievable. So I don't want to give anybody anxiety thinking about this stuff, because it's not healthy and it's not good. But this technology, it's really cool. It's really cool. Like I said, this AI stuff, this technology, this coding, all this stuff you can do. It's like, you type a prompt in plain English, and like I said, it builds apps, it builds websites, it does everything. And it's like, like I said about the imposter syndrome, it's like, I didn't know how to do that 6 months ago, and now I can make an app and code and do all this stuff. So it's cool. Like I said, it levels the playing field. It shrinks the skill gap between people who went to school for that stuff and people who went to school for other things, which is scary for those people who who do know how to code and learned, obviously they have an advantage, right? They know the little nitty gritty details and they can, massage the prompts and the technology to do exactly what they want as opposed to somebody who just picked it up. And another thing with the business, it's like, we're pre-revenue right now. So we're pre-revenue right now. So it's like, until we start bringing in those clients and making that money, it kind of feels like I said it, we have imposter syndrome, but we're getting in the weeds. We're doing the nitty gritty work and stuff. So, I have no doubt we'll bear the fruits of our labor pretty soon. But we got to get on the phone and start selling. So that's the most daunting thing, right? That's the next step out of our comfort zone. It's like we got to get in the phones and start cold calling people. So I know that there's a mixed bag of feelings when it comes to cold calling and stuff like that. Some people think it's never been more prominent in business, and some people hate it, obviously. But how else are you going to reach customers, right? So we have to give it a shot. We've started a little bit. It's like I said, it's daunting, and you have to learn how to talk to people and the psychology and persuasion and things, and the language you use, the tone, everything, right? It's so nuanced. It's a game. It's an art. So we're learning that, and it's that's probably been the most difficult part, right? It's getting on the phones and talking to strangers and trying to convince them to give you money. Think about it, right? Obviously you're providing value in return, but they don't know that yet, and you have to persuade them that, okay, what I'm selling you and giving you is worth the money you're going to pay me. So I'm thinking about making a video where my brother and I just cold call back and forth, and we just take a video and kind of show you guys what it looks like. I think that'll be cool. So, but yeah, the final point I want to make about being an entrepreneur is you have to be a self-starter. You have to do things on your own and take initiative. You're your own boss. Nobody's telling you what to do. You have to figure things out by yourself. And that's really the whole point. That's why people pursue these endeavors. You don't want to have a boss. You want to take the initiative and build something and provide value to people and control your time, control your money, things of that nature. So it's a beautiful thing. It's an incredibly challenging thing, I've realized, and I'm all about it, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's certainly not for the faint of heart. You need to be incredibly disciplined in the sense of there is no timeline in which you have to follow. You choose what it is. So you can work 4 hours a day, you can work 14 hours a day. It's up to you, and you need to figure out what makes the most sense for me, what's sustainable, and what amount of time do I need to get done what I have to get done. And yeah, so it's a crazy thing. You have to be incredibly consistent. Nobody's coming to save you. You chose to embark on this journey. That's what I tell myself, right? Like, when I'm having tough days and I'm trying to figure things out as far as the business is concerned, it's like, you chose this, right? So if it was easy, everybody would do it. These are the things I remind myself, right? So, we got a long way to go. I'm excited. I'm motivated. So yeah, I'm trying to, take control of my life and make the best of this situation and what we're doing. And, it's going to come with ups and downs, but that's the whole point. That's part of the journey, part of the process. And I'm enjoying every bit of it. So stay tuned to keep watching.